NFL parlays and player props are back for week 14, and we've been killing the book so far in this video. Over the past 5 weeks, we are 16-4. We've gone 4-0 and then 3-1 the past 4 straight weeks. Then last week we cashed our moneyline parlay, which had the Seahawks, the Chargers, and the Steelers all covering plus 1,500 odds. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. We're gonna do just that. We're gonna give you 4 player props. We're gonna give you another parlay. We're gonna see if we can cash this out again. Now subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We just passed 15,000 subscribers. We have more goals. We have more goals, milestones to hit. So click that subscribe button if you're new. It's 100% free, and we're trying to hit 16,000 one of these days. Now, let's get into it. We'll end the video with the parlay, so you can skip to the end if you really want to, but I don't think you should, because today, last week we showcased OddsJam, and it led us to a 3-in-1 day. I showcased all the different features of the website. We're back on OddsJam today. So boom, the website is on the screen, and we're gonna go through it. We're gonna show you some of all the free features that they have, but also some cool paid features. If you wanna check out, we have a promo code in case you wanna go and get them. It's COS 2021. It'll be linked down below in the description. But nothing's more annoying than having to switch back and forth to all your different books, but OddsJam does the best and the most efficient way of comparing all your different books together, so you don't have to go searching to DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, Caesars. It puts them all into one place. It makes it super easy, saves you a lot of time in the research process. We're gonna show you a bunch of these cool features, and we'll start with the first bet of the day. We're gonna be on the plus expected value page, and we're starting with the guy that cashed for us last week. It's gonna be Marquise Hollywood Brown over 4.5 receptions. So you can see him. Right now we're getting at minus 105 on BetMGM and Caesars and DraftKings, where sharper books have this at minus 131. So those are the fair odds. And last week we took this. It was plus 100 odds, and Marquise Hollywood Brown showed up. We got a 3.76% EV bet. And like I said, last week, plus 100. Now we're getting minus 105. I'll keep taking it. Now, if we look at Marquise Hollywood Brown, he's been on a tear this season, and he's taken on the Browns, a team that he sees pretty frequently, twice a year to be exact. And we look at his game log. We'll switch over to StatMuse real quick. You can see he's been dominant. He had 5 receptions versus them, or 8 receptions versus the Browns earlier this season. He's cashed this pretty frequently in 6 of his past 7 games. The one game he didn't hit was a game that he only had 5 targets, and that was a blowout against the Chargers. He's been dominant this year. He's seen 10+ targets in 5 of those 7 games. He's the clear #1 wide receiver for this Ravens team. And you look at Marquise Hollywood Brown, last week wasn't even a good week overall for the Ravens offense, and he still cashed it for us. We're going to be riding with him again, and then we're going to throw it back over to the plus EV page. We're going to look at another one. Now, I would talk about CeeDee Lamb over here, over 71.5 receiving yards, a great plus expected value bet. The plus expected value bet, if you don't know what that means, lucky for you, we did a whole separate video exactly what it means. They're mathematically profitable bets, and there's a whole separate video is linked down below. OddsJam sponsored that one as well. OddsJam sponsoring this video as well. OddsJam's the best, if you can't tell. We really love their website. It's been carrying us through the NFL season so far, especially for player props. Now, I would talk about CeeDee Lamb, but joke's on you. We already talked about it earlier this week on Thursday when we did our NFL Best Bets video. We talked about our favorite spreads and over-unders, as well as 2 more player props. So go check out that video. It is linked down below. We talked about CeeDee Lamb. The line was 70.5 receiving yards. Even better, it's now 71.5, but still, I'd still love to take it, and now it's a plus expected value bet. Now let's move on to my second bet of the day. We're going to move over into the Kansas City Chiefs game, and you can see all the different odds that OddsJam has. You can see they have so many different things. Second half money line, touchdowns, team totals, all of these. All you have to do is click, and you can see it all compared across all the different books. But today, we were on specifically receptions, and we're on a guy named Travis Kelce. We're taking his over 5.5 receptions. You see a bunch of different books that has the odds the same exact, so pick whichever one you want, whichever one you have access to, and we're going to ride with it. Minus 135. It's a slight positive expected value bet. You look at Pinnacle or OddsJam Perfect Line, minus 139. Not necessarily the craziest one, but I'm going to be tailing my boy Monotone Football on Twitter. If you know who he is, he's really good at player props in the Twitter space, so go show him some love. But we love Travis Kelce. Now, if you draft him in fantasy football, truthfully, you're probably disappointed because Travis Kelce has not been really good. Hasn't lived up to the hype that he has had the past couple seasons. I mean, he's still one of the best tight ends in the NFL. His stats will still be really good, but not what you'd expect from Travis Kelce. So let's take a look at his game log real quick. And truthfully, look, it's not the best. It's not necessarily something that, you're super excited about. I mean, he's gone under in 4 of the past 5 games, but look at that one game that he went over in. Boom, against the Las Vegas Raiders, 8 receptions for 10 on 10 targets. And that's what we're loving here, is because the target numbers are absolutely ridiculous. We're switching over to his game log. It's just against the Raiders. You see these targets, 10, 10, 12, 9, 9, 9, 13, 13. The targets are ridiculous, and I love Travis Kelce today. The Raiders currently have given up the 4th most receptions to opposing tight ends. You've seen Travis Kelce. He's dominated them year in and year out, and I'm going to ride with Kelce. I'm going to ride with him again. Now, moving back to the plus EV page on OddsJam, show OddsJam some love. The link is down below. Definitely at least use it and for completely free. free. If you want to sign up for their plus EV and their arbitrage betting, definitely you can check out those videos. We did separate ones on those, each linked down below. Super cool website, arguably the best website comparison tool out there on the platform. And they don't, not just because they paid me to say that, but they really are useful, and they help me help you make some money. Just you don't even know it because you watch your normal videos. But let's move on back to this plus EV page. We see Nick Chubb is our next one. We're taking his under 1.5 receptions. We're seeing plus 105 value on DraftKings. The OddsJam perfect line minus 126. So pretty good. Now let's talk about Nick Chubb. Now, taking on the Ravens again, and last time they played the Ravens, I took Nick Chubb's under in rushing yards, and some people might have been like, why would you take that? Well, he only had 16 rushing yards. It was a no sweat bet. You went to bed. He didn't have to sweat that one out at all. He was absolutely, the Ravens bottled up that run game like they've kind of been doing to a lot of teams this year. So they were targeting that under in receptions. Now, it might seem a little bit, you look at his game log, and we can go to the Cleveland Browns kind of thing, and you can see all the different options. Now, you see the over minus 130, minus 135, but you don't see the OddsJam perfect line really in our favor since we're taking the under at plus 105. Now, we switch over to his game log, and Nick Chubb finally back, and he's here to steal his workload. Now, you saw last week, which they actually had a bye in week 13, but week 12, he returned only 38% of the snaps, kind of worked him back. I mean, he had missed 5 games before that, so he's finally getting back into the groove of things. You look all the way back to the beginning of the season, he was stealing a lot of workload, 40-50% of the time, and I think he could be back into that same realm this week. Kareem Hunt is that pass-catching back, not Nick Chubb. Now, you look at this specific number for Nick Chubb, sure, I mean, he's hit this over in 3 straight games, and you're like, oh, we don't love that, Austin. We don't want this, but he's gone under in 4 of 9 overall. So if you took this bet at plus 105 every single week, you'd be up money on the season. But overall, really, if you look at his game log with Kareem Hunt active, it's not all that great. I mean, you see, he's just not, getting that many targets with Nick Chubb out there, or with Kareem Hunt out there. You see that he's gone under in 4 of his past 5 games. 4 of 6 overall this season, and I just don't see Nick Chubb really, catching the ball all that much. The last game against the Ravens, when he did have 2 receptions, was a game that they threw it way too much, and they're going to go back to that ground and pound nature that they've been doing nonstop this season. So I really do like Nick Chubb to go under 1.5 receptions plus 105 value. Not a guy that normally gets 2 receptions on the year or in single games, so we'll take his under. I think Kareem Hunt will be back that pass catching role. Now moving on, we're going back to the New Orleans Saints. We're going to the New Orleans Saints versus New York Jets game. My New York Jets taking on the Saints. And the guy we're rolling with, Alvin Kamara, over 67.5 rushing yards. Now you see this. OddsJam perfect line has it at 75.5. So do a bunch of other books. But some books are still at 67.5. Line makes no sense, so we'll be taking it there. Now, I know the line probably has changed by then, and I'm sorry. I can't control this. I can record the video and then post it immediately, and the line might have already changed by then. But if it has changed, one of 2 things. You can either, 1, take the new line, because I'd like it up to 80.5 rushing yards. We'll talk about it in a second. Or 2, take its anytime touchdown prop, because the Jets have been giving up rushing yards and touchdowns to running backs like there's no tomorrow. Like it's Christmas. It's Christmas came early. They're just handing out rushing yards to their opposing running backs and everything. So we look at Mr. Alvin Kamara finally returning from injury. He's been out the past couple weeks, and this Saints offense has struggled. It has not looked good, and there's really no one behind him. Tony Jones Jr., he stinks. Mark Ingram, sadly, he tested positive. He probably will not play this game. If he does, so be it. They're still going to want Alvin Kamara to be out there. He's their most talented offensive player. And yeah, they're going to need him out there on the field, and they're going to feed him the ball. Now, if we look at Mr. Alvin Kamara, we see that his matchup against the Jets are arguably the best. You see a team opponent rushing yards per game. Yeah, you have to scroll all the way down. You see the Jets right here, giving up the 4th most rushing yards per game to opposing offenses, 133.4 per game. And that number has gone up over the past couple weeks because of the next thing we're going with. Alvin Kamara has seen over 15 carries in, I believe, almost every single game he's played. I think 6 of 8 games he's seen 15 plus carries. And wouldn't you know, every single guy that has seen 15 plus carries this season, well, majority of them have hit this over. 5 of the past 7 guys have had 15 plus carries, absolutely destroyed this line. You see Myles Gaskin with 89 yards. You see Miles Sanders with 120 last week. Jonathan Taylor, 172, 157. Derrick Henry. And the only 2 guys that went under, Melvin Gordon and Damian Harris, who both split the workload in their backfields. Alvin Kamara will not be splitting the workload today unless it's with Taysom Hill. I'm not really concerned about Taysom Hill. You think about the Saints offense, they're going to be without a lot of guys. They were obviously known on Michael Thomas, haven't had him the whole year, but Taysom Hill has got a banged up finger. I believe his right middle finger is banged up, and so are you going to want him to throw the ball, especially after last week when he threw 4 interceptions? Come on, let's be honest with ourselves. You're not going to let Taysom Hill throw it too much. They're going to rely on that ground game, and I think that starts with Alvin Kamara getting it going against my New York Jets. So we're right with him at 67.5 rushing yards, 75.5 fine, 79.5, 190.5. All of them are good. I really like Alvin Kamara on Sunday to have a great day. Now moving on to my moneyline parlay. That's why you guys are here. That's why we're here, to really show you guys what we're all about. And we're doing the moneyline parlay, and we're doing 4 legs here today. Now last week we cashed easy money. Like I said, it was Saints, Seahawks, and Chargers. That sounds right. Saints, Steelers, and Chargers, I believe. This week, Falcons, Saints, Bengals, and Cowboys. 4 legs plus 838 value. Now let's talk about each leg. Falcons versus Panthers. A sketchy game. As sketchy as it comes, but I can't remember the last game the Panthers won without CMC, Christian McCaffrey, who is out for the year. And Cam Newton, I love him, love the story, just not a good product on the field. Yeah, I don't care how long on the bye week or whatever you got for him. I still like the Falcons in this one. And moving on to Saints money line, you just heard me talk about Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill getting it going against this Jets team. The Jets have been not all that great this season. The Saints are on the road, but I think they get it done against the Jets. They're 5.5 point favorites in this game. And the Bengals are next up on the list. As inconsistent as they come, we bet against them last week with the Chargers money line, but that's why you bet against them, then you bet for them, because I think they bounce back with a big win against the 49ers this weekend. 49ers offense banged up, Deebo Samuel, Elijah Mitchell, every single running back all injured. We'll see who exactly plays for him on Sunday, but still, I'm not too worried about it. I think Jimmy Garoppolo won't be able to get it done. We'll ride with Joe Burrow, even his banged up, dislocated pinky or whatever. We'll ride with the Bengals money line. Final leg, Cowboys. We talked about this in Thursday's video. My best bets, taking their spread, so obviously I'm going to take them money line. Dak Prescott, a career 7-1, just straight up against the Washington football team. And so, sure, the Washington football team, they're hot, but they haven't played a lot of good football teams. No pun intended. So I'll ride with them. And the Cowboys not only win and cover. I don't think the Washington football team is ready for the Cowboys offense today. But that'll do it. All 4 plus 838 odds. Let's see if we can cash it 2 in a row. That would be awesome. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. If you followed this late and you're looking for an NBA video tomorrow, we don't have an NBA video on Sunday. I'll be out of town. I'll be back on Monday to crank out the videos for all of you guys. We appreciate it. It's NFL Sunday. Don't know if I'll have any more picks. Likely won't, but those are my 4 player props and my moneyline parlay. Let's have a great week 14 in the NFL. Let's keep rolling on. We only got a couple more weeks left in the regular season. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. 16,000 subscribers on the way. This has been awesome. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.